Pod. Pod. Quad. Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world, brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. The NBA playoffs are in full force right now. Some crazy things happened these last two games and in the Atlanta and Bucks games.
Some big injuries, man.
Some big injuries. CP3 came back for the Suns, so we're going to talk about that, of course. The NHL is in the Stanley Cup Finals now.
Already got
fighting for the cup.
That reigning champ right back in there.
Right back in there with a dominant game one.
Dominant game one. We'll get to that.
So we'll talk about that. Some other NFL news, of course, and then we'll hit on the bias bubble and the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. So we'll get right into it. There's a game going on right now. The Bucks and the Hawks, and the Hawks are thromping the Bucks as of right now.
It's a surprising outcome with Trey Young being sidelined. The Hawks, right now 7:45 left in the fourth, up 91-75 on Milwaukee. But as we were saying, some big injury news. Giannis went down with a pretty scary injury, apparently.
Yeah. When this comes out, we'll probably know more about the injury, like if he's going to miss significant time or what's going on. But it did not look good because it happened like right before we started recording here.
Yeah.
So they have pretty much the whole fourth quarter left. But game 3, the Bucks came out and thwomped the Hawks. That was a game that Trey Young ended up getting hurt in. But now Giannis got hurt, and now the Hawks are thwomping the Bucks right now. So, who knows what's going to happen in the next game.
This might end up going 7 games after all.
Yeah. And, no matter, if Trey Young, because, I think Trey Young has, like, a bone bruise in his foot, I guess. So who knows how long how much time he's going to miss. But I feel like Giannis, he's definitely going to be missing some time. It did not look good at all.
His injury, his reaction looked like it was going to be a pretty bad injury. So we'll see. And usually you'll see Giannis react about anything like that. You know? So that's scary.
You got two hobbled teams in the East that are probably going to have to face against one of the two healthier teams in the NBA, the Clippers, and they don't have Kawhi, but they're still hooping.
Right.
And the Suns.
They got Paul George.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, the Suns were up 3-1 on these motherfuckers. And Paul George, playoff P, showed up, and he's actually hooping right now. 41 points in that game. What was that, game 5? Yeah, 41 points.
And that was like his most in a playoff game.
Career high for playoffs.
Got me a little dough on FanDuel. Thank you, Paul George.
Thank you, Paul George. That boost, them odds boosts. But and the next game 6 here, is in LA. So if the Clippers can force a game 7, I don't know how long Kawhi's supposed to be out. Like, is he out for the whole series, or like what's going on with that?
They haven't really said anything. They just kind of giving it like a game by game status update. They're not saying like a timeline at all.
If they could push it to a game 7 and have Kawhi come back healthy, or at least semi-healthy, that would be great for them. And because the game's going to be in Phoenix, so we'll see what happens with that. But Paul George is stepping up. He's stepping up at the most crucial time right now when he's getting criticized for not stepping. He's proving everybody wrong type of thing right now.
Yeah, and come back from a 3-1 deficit, that's going to be hard, man. Ty Lue has done it as a coach. I know, I think he was quoted saying it's like, we don't worry about that or whatever. I forget what the exact quote was, but he said he had a statement about being down 3-1, and he's saying nothing's impossible. He's we've been in this position before, but who knows?
I agree with him. I don't think it's feasible, but it's possible. It gets more possible with every win. So
exactly. I think it's going to be a hard task to beat this Suns team, though, 2 more times in a row.
Yeah, exactly. I just definitely think I personally want the Clippers to lose, just because if we're not there, you can't be there type of thing. But I also I'm on the side of, I would like to see something that doesn't happen very often happen. If you come back from a 3-1 deficit, that'd be cool. But also Devin Booker's young Kobe. So there's so many. I don't know who I want to win right now. I really would like to see the Suns go, because they took us out.
I would too. I'm rooting for the Suns, but I don't know. depending on the injury status out of the East, it may be looking like it's for the West. One of those two teams, the Clippers or the Suns, for that championship this year. It's looking like they're like, oh, okay, Giannis is hurt. I mean, that's terrible. Obviously, it sucks to see it, but that opens up like, hey, might be a little better for us to go win that chip here. And then you got Trey with an ankle injury, and then his shoulder was bothering him for a little bit. So I mean, who knows?
It really looks like the West is going to come out in this one, no matter what the finals matchup ends up. Especially with these injuries mounting. So
it's really seeming like it. But I do have some other NBA news here we can kind of go over. The Boston Celtics finalizing an agreement to hire Brooklyn Nets assistant Ime Udoka as the team's new head coach.
Okay.
So they're getting a Brooklyn Nets coach over on their side. Brad Stevens is kind of building his organization.
Getting what pieces he wants. Hopefully it works out for him. We'll see how long he has a job there.
CP3, of course, is back in the lineup for the Suns as of right now after getting COVID. He's kind of working his way back in the lineup. I mean, it doesn't help that you got Devin Booker with like a broken nose either out there trying to play with a mask on and everything. But who knows? I think what we were talking about, I think the Suns are going to be a good team regardless. It's probably going to come down to like a Game 7 though. That's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah, I can absolutely see them forcing a Game 7 here. The Clippers, speaking of that, so
yeah. And speaking of the Nets, apparently the Nets will pursue Al Horford if he's bought out by the Celtics.
Okay. So they are going to be the island of misfit toys.
Yeah. They're just going to, you know
the
what?
Lakers used to be. How that works out for you.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
The Team USA Olympic basketball for the Olympics was announced. I don't know if you saw this. We got Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker. My boy Zach LaVine is on the roster. Kevin Love, Bam, Draymond, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Jeremy Grant was added to the roster.
No Lakers.
No Lakers. No LeBron Braun.
No LeBron
No AD.
James. No AD.
No
They're
Cuz.
probably like, fuck that. We don't want no more basketball right now, man. We didn't get no off season in the first place because we played until the finals. And then y'all wanted to ramp back up 2 months later. No, we're good on the Olympics. Go ahead. Let all the people who missed the bubble in the first place or Kevin Durant missed a year ahead, you know what I mean? Like, let them go and take care of this shit. Like, man.
That roster's going to be hooping. We're going to talk about the Olympics when that's going on. We'll be able to talk about that.
Gold medal, baby. We got Greg Popovich as the head coach. And then you got Steve Kerr as an assistant. Are you kidding me? We're winning. Gold medal, baby. Where's Steph? Is Steph on this shit?
No, Steph wasn't on the list.
Damn. Imagine that. I would love to see Steph Curry on an Olympic team. Why is he not on the, like, what the?
I don't know.
They probably asked him, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure, I'm damn sure LeBron got asked too, but I mean, I'm sure he's like, wants to take care of that ankle and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, man, if they win a gold medal, it'd be cool. Zach Draymond, all-star and a gold medalist on the Bulls.
Draymond and KD on the same team again. That shit's gonna be interesting. I see this picture here of Draymond talking to KD, and they're in the it must have been from the practice. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the same picture of the one where he's in Golden State. You know what I mean? I'll show you this picture then. But like that's amazing. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
I'm hoping that since Zach LaVine's there, he can start recruiting. Like, hey, man, you want to come to Chicago? You got Vooch now. We're going to be building some pieces. Come to Chicago.
Speaking of the Olympic team, Ben Simmons said, "Nah, I'm not going to play in the Olympics this year. I got to go focus on my skills."
That's probably for the best. He needs to chill in the gym all off season.
He needs to be putting up 1,000 shots a day. 1,000 shots a day, bro. I'm telling you. But also, there's teams that are apparently lining up to trade for him right now. Apparently, Golden State is an option. Minnesota is an option. So,
I saw Minnesota really wants Ben Simmons.
Yeah, team him up with Cat. But I don't know what's going to happen. But obviously, nobody really knows. But that's the speculation right now is Golden State has interest. as well as Minnesota.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, are Philly willing to work with him and hopefully like get that jump shot back and get him to be more aggressive, or like are they just going to be like, all right, highest bidder, you got him, you can take him?
What happened to Markelle Fultz?
He went and started hooping.
Where?
Well, yeah, he went on a shitty team. He's on like isn't he on the Magic or something?
He. That's all I'm saying is the Sixers already, they have a precedent here for situations like this and what they would do in situations like this.
Yeah.
They'll give you a little time, but if it don't change, you're out. You know what I mean? Like
Okafor.
Exactly. So we'll see, but I think Simmons will not be on the Sixers within 3 years. Type of, he's not gonna. I feel like he's gonna be somewhere else, and I don't think he's a bad player or anything like that. But he's definitely got to work on shooting. It's just it's ridiculous.
Like, man, you a hell of a defender, but how you gonna be in the NBA and you can't shoot?
First team NBA defense. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but you can't shoot.
Can't shoot. How can't you shoot?
Don't. He's too good to be a role player. That's all I mean.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
I agree.
He's too. As much as I dislike the Sixers, it's just nothing personal. I just something about. I miss AI. I miss the AI Sixers. Okay, I miss that shit. But I just don't like the Sixers lately anyway. But like, I think he just needs to get better at shooting. He could be an all-star every year type of player, not a superstar necessarily, but an all-star.
Yeah, he's good enough, man.
He's got the skills
for sure.
And Embiid ain't going nowhere. Embiid ain't.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere.
He's too good. That dude, he's gonna be an MVP one day. Type of, I believe it. He's a beast, bro.
As long as he can stay healthy.
Right.
That's the thing. I see here the Hornets are open to trading Gordon Hayward. So like a year or two after scooping him, they're like,
I don't like that.
Getting rid of him.
I don't like that. I think they should keep him, bro. I love Gordon Hayward on the Charlotte Hornets playing next to Melo. Like I
think it fits.
It fits, man. And I don't want to see him get tossed around again. Gordon Hayward he's
another one who's been having a lot of injury issues as well.
Yeah,
here the past couple of years, been keeping him out.
That is very true, but we'll see.
I just wish the best for him. Nah, we can't keep him around. Too much money on the books. Someone is not
money on the books. Well, I got other players getting injured, making less money.
Former Mavs coach Rick Carlisle has signed on as the head coach of the Pacers now.
Yep, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. I mean, because
4-year deal.
The thing about the Pacers leading up to this was like, where's their direction? They just had no real idea of what was going on, especially after firing the coach. Wasn't it a 1-year coach they just had and they fired? So it's just like, what was the direction?
Talked about that thing last week.
Right, and now, okay. You landed a nice veteran coach, champion. Like, great. Like, let's see what Rick Carlisle could do with this Pacers franchise. I believe he could end up building a nice squad here. But speaking of Rick Carlisle, the guy replacing him, unfortunately, Jason Kidd, taken off the Lakers coaching staff to go be the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks now. So congratulations to him for getting another head coaching opportunity, but
scamming another team and just hiring him as a head coach.
Scammed another team into hiring him. Brooklyn first now.
Doesn't have a good track record as a head coach. He was he coached for the Bucks for like a year or two. They didn't do well. I
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's when he had that like water incident, right? When he spilled that water or something.
Accidentally spilled the water on the floor for like a timeout.
Hey, all I know is Jason Kidd won a championship with Los Angeles Lakers. Okay.
Yeah.
As an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Not so great this year. Our offense pretty much was non-existent. There was games where we had 85 points total, and I remember Alex's big three in Brooklyn there had like 106 to combine or some shit. Like, it was rough not having KD or having AD and LeBron this year, but obviously I'm sure it's very rough to not have. Back to 3 years prior when it was really just the island of misfit toys, but the B and C squad misfit toys, not the stars. So, I'm just going off a tangent now, thinking about bad times.
Speaking of the Mavs, apparently, like inside sources are saying that like Luka is not fond of Porzingis at all. Apparently, he's pissed off at him. Like whenever Porzingis, I think he got suspended or fined for going to that strip club. Like apparently Luka was pissed off that he even went in the first place. He should have been like with the team,
Should have been
like
focusing on his job.
focusing on his job and shit. Yeah, and apparently they just don't get along. And so it's looking like Porzingis is probably out of there because there's no way they're letting Luka go.
They ain't letting Luka go. Luka
No
says,
way.
get Porzingis out of here. Porzingis out of there.
Porzingis
But I
out
don't
of
want
there.
Porzingis on the Lakers. I saw something linking him to the Lakers lately, and I'm like, nope.
I don't want him anywhere near Chicago
want
either.
Porzingis. He's like too lanky. He gets hurt all the time, man. If he could stay healthy, it'd be one thing, but he gets hurt all the time.
Yeah, for real. Another trade scenario. Apparently, there's a 75% chance that Miami is going to trade Tyler Herro this offseason.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So after old Bubble Herro, they were like, no, we're not trading this kid for anybody. And then, like, after a lackluster year and, like, a first-round bounce out of the playoffs, they're like, all right, who wants Tyler Herro now?
What's the price? If I were to trade him, what would you give me for?
Remember when y'all were asking about Tyler Herro? We're willing to listen now.
What was that offer again?
Chauncey Billups emerged as the head coach for the Trailblazers, which is pretty cool. I mean,
that is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Chauncey's back in the NBA, man. I like that, man. I love that. He played in China for a couple years. He's back in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Head coach.
So that's a good hire.
But we're getting to the age now where all these players that we watched growing up are fucking.
We're gonna end up seeing like Tim Duncan's coach for the Spurs eventually, or something.
It's wild.
Or Dirk coach for like the Mavs eventually. That'd be cool.
I feel like I'm getting old, man.
Yeah, for real. Speaking of the Trailblazers, Zach Collins apparently has refractured his foot.
What?
Yeah, he refractured his foot. Sources are telling The Athletic. And he's supposed to be a free agent this offseason. Apparently, he only played 11 games in the 19 to 20 season, and then he missed this whole season due to an injury as well. This dude just cannot catch a break at all.
Now he's a free agent, so
yeah. So now he gets
what's gonna happen with a new injury.
And the last bit of news I really have here that's outside of my bias bubble, Brooklyn Nets assistant Jacques Vaughn has decided to withdraw his name from available head coaching openings. He was linked to the Pelicans job from what I've seen. I didn't see him linked to any other coaching jobs, but now he's like, nope, I'm going to stay with the Nets. They're going to try to win a chip, I guess.
I got one last piece here. Did you see about Jeff Van Gundy last night?
No, what did he say?
Yeah, how did you know it was something he said?
Oh, I just figured it was something he said.
It was, because he was talking about the sissification of the game last night, and motherfuckers, I guess people were coming at him about it or some shit, like, but like, you gotta remember the day and age that he coached in the league. Motherfuckers were straight throwing hate, so like
dropping people on their head.
But the foul that he was talking about, dude looked him straight in the eyes and ran towards him and poked him in the eyes. Like the ball was out and the guy's still coming straight at him, looking right at him, and he poked it, like, so that was the foul. Like he said, "Oh, the sissification of the game." Like I just thought it was funny.
Black for that.
Happened, yeah, because they were talking about how terrible like NBA fans gotta watch Mark Jackson and Stan Van Gundy commentating basketball games, and I was just, I don't mind either of them, man. So I just thought it was funny.
He could have used a different word
to
describe it.
Sissification.
Like he could have just said the league now is soft or something.
Yeah, man, it's pretty much what he meant. But it's just,
he could have said something like that.
I thought it was hilarious, man.
That is hilarious, man. I did.
That's all the NBA news I got for outside the bias bubble.
Yeah, that's all the stuff I have outside of the bias bubble. Talk about the NHL right quick. We in the Stanley Cup Finals. It is the Montreal Canadiens versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, the reigning champions. Yep. And last night, man, the Tampa Bay Lightning
put like a bloodbath.
The Canadiens.
It was bad. It was like 8-1.
I believe so. I was gonna check just to make sure. It was 5-1. 5-1 game 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Game 2 is on Wednesday. So that'll already happen by the time this is released. But
Right.
yeah,
And they're going to do the same thing.
yeah, and I mean, even though the Canadiens got beat, the Canadiens went into the Stanley Cup final as the lowest overall seed out of everybody.
Damn, and they
And
made
they
it
made
here,
it.
though.
They made it all the way to Stanley Cup finals.
So, I mean, hey,
Yeah, so I
credit.
mean, hey, even if they lose, they still made it. You know, they were good
Exactly.
enough to make it there. But man, I don't know who's going to stop that Tampa Bay Lightning squad right now.
They're trying to repeat, man. And at this point, I feel like they will.
It's starting to look that way. I mean, the Canadiens are a great team, so I can see them getting 1 or maybe 2 wins. But man, I don't even see it going to Game 7. To be honest, I think the Lightning
maybe
are going
5
to
or
make
6.
of them. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's all that's going on with the NHL as of right now. We can kind of hit into some football news because football, man, is right around the corner. We are less than a month away from training camp, and we'll be getting to all the little nitty gritty little news and the clips that are coming out of training camp involving players. And this player looks
so
great. This player looks like he's terrible.
All this news that is just blowing smoke up by us is awesome. I love it.
I love it
I
too.
live this off-season news, and then comes the season, and everything's different. You're like, God damn it!
Damn it!
But
we suck again.
This is a good part of the season where you have hope. Everybody has hope.
Everybody has hope. It's 0-0. We going into the season. I'm excited. We have just as much of a chance as everybody else.
But as far as the NFL goes, I got a little bit of news here.
Yeah.
The NFL is canceling the supplemental draft once again.
Yeah.
They said, nope, we're not doing it. I don't know. Are they going to do it like virtually or reschedule? Do you know? Like,
I haven't seen any updates on it, to be honest, since they came out and said that.
They're just going to cancel it. So I don't know what happens then, because that was just another avenue for players to get into the league, So
yeah,
very interesting, but
not this year.
Not this year.
I can see him coming back next year after everybody this will be another year removed from COVID thing.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently now that Indianapolis said that they're all good, every single stadium will be at full capacity this year as well. I was like,
awesome.
Okay. So it's going to be crowds roaring, going crazy.
Wait. It was last season was so weird looking back on it, man. Just watching, and then because they had the fake crowd noise in there, and it's just so weird because they barely panned to the stadium at all. You would see the outside shot looking down on the stadium, but you would never really saw any shots in the stadium at all unless they were showing the cardboard cutouts.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be awesome seeing all those crazy fans out there too.
I think about how weird the bubble was, man, with the jumbo screen and the fans, the virtual fans. That was really weird, but I got used to it. I got used to it after a while.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back to normal with sports though.
Yeah, same.
It's dope seeing it with the NBA too. Just have fans back.
And you got the fan interactions now. I'm glad fans aren't going as crazy as they were at the beginning of these playoffs. But you got the fan interaction, when Trae Young was just looking, and they're all screaming "Fuck Trae Young" or "Fuck," and he's just looking at him, and he cracks that smile like a villain. That's the shit that was missing last year, man. Oh my God.
There was that famous picture that went around from last night's game. It was Lil Wayne and Dr. Disrespect.
That's an amazing. That's gonna be an iconic picture now. For going forward, you got Lil Wayne, Dr. Disrespect, and who was the other? It was the player, but I forget who was the basketball player.
Who it was.
It's crazy that I can't remember the basketball player in the picture, but it don't even matter. But that was an iconic picture there as well.
Yeah.
But
it makes me think of the All-Star game with LeBron and Kobe, and you just see Drake standing there right in front of him.
Drake ruined the possible greatest picture in NBA history. Drake ruined that shit, of course, of all people, but it's all good. Did you see Odell with that video he posted of him?
He's running like a cheetah.
Wow. He just tore his ACL. What do you mean? That's crazy. He's going to be back to just being Odell again. So the Browns should be very excited about that. I just hope he doesn't overstrain himself, but he was running like a damn cheetah. That shit was crazy.
That was wild. I was like, how's he doing this on that ACL? How?
You got any other news?
Yeah, the biggest news. This is what I've been hoping for years and years and years. The NFL are now allowing
Oh
teams
yeah.
to use an alternate color helmet starting in 2022. It's
The
finally
biggest.
happening. It's finally happening. The Kelly Green jerseys will be back eventually.
Mhm.
Not only just that, but I am so excited just to see throwback uniforms in general around the league. It's going to be
Gonna
awesome.
have our Pat Patriot helmet again, man.
Pat the Patriot will be back. You're
I'm
going to have to
excited
get an
for it.
old school jersey now.
Yeah, I will. Because
They
I've
bring 'em
wanted
back.
to for years. I've wanted to for years. I might as
Yeah.
well.
And this is some shit. They announced that starting in 2022, they'll be able to use the alternate color helmets. And now it's already past the deadline for teams to submit their alternate uniforms for 2022. So now pretty much almost every team has to wait until 2023 to use the alternates, not the retro
What?
uniform. Yeah. Like the Eagles, I know the Eagles are a team that we are not going to be able to use until 2023 because we already submitted to use the black uniforms as an alternate next year until the 2022 season. A
What
lot of teams
the
had to
hell?
submit their alternate uniforms already for the 2022 season. So even though they're approved for the 2022 season, a lot of teams won't be able to use them till the 2023 season.
Well, do you know what teams have already submitted and what haven't?
I don't hear. I just know that the Eagles are one of them.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't see that. But yeah, the Eagles, unfortunately, they already submitted to wear the black uniforms in 2022. So
Very
it's good news, but it was like the same day where they're like, don't get excited too fast. Like, don't go too fast. Like, we're going to have to wait another year because
It's
they
gonna
already
be
submitted to wear the black
years.
ones. Yeah. So, I
Right.
mean, it's dope that it's available now. They finally changed that stupid rule where you can't use another color helmet. But I'm excited, even though if the Eagles don't get to do it for another 2 years, I'm excited to see the teams that are able to do it here
Yeah.
in the next year or so.
It should be really cool, man. I'm excited for it, especially like Tennessee, seeing the old Oilers helmet too.
Ooh, the Oilers will be cool.
Mhm.
I don't want to see no Bumblebee out of Pittsburgh. I don't
Nah,
want
I
to
don't want to see
see
no
those cream
dumb
color
Pittsburgh
jerseys
jersey.
out of Tampa Bay. They're so
You
ugly.
know they're gonna do that, bro. They
No,
did
they're
that.
gonna do it.
They did this rule just so they could have pictures of Tom Brady in that stupid creamsicle jersey. They didn't do this for the Eagles. They didn't do this for the Patriots. They did this for Tom Brady.
For Tom
And
Brady, and
it's
that's it before he
stupid
retires.
creamsicle, because he's gonna be around in 2 more years. He'll still
Yeah.
be playing in 2023. So like it. Oh my god.
But yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest news that we've had out of the NFL over the past week.
Yeah.
One that I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting on hearing because like I thought that they already released all like the rule changes and everything they had for the coming seasons. But man, this was just like the cherry on top. Like
This
I've been
was.
waiting for this for years. And I know a ton of Eagles fans have been and other fan bases around the NFL. Like I'm ready to see them Kelly Greens back with the old school Eagles logo and everything. It's gonna be
It's gonna
awesome.
be cool. It's gonna be nice to see, man. But
Yeah.
I did have something else here.
Okay.
Demarius Thomas
Yep.
retires after a long career with good amount of different teams, but he's most remembered for being on the Broncos.
Yeah.
And being great on the Broncos. So
Apparently he's gonna retire
congratulations
as a
to him.
Bronco, he said.
Cool. That's I always like to see them players and teams allow it, like they can do that type of thing.
Yeah, he's had a good career, man.
But I also had a list of the top 5 best free agents left right now.
Oh, okay.
I got Le'Veon Bell,
Le'Veon.
Melvin Ingram,
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were still out there.
Richard Sherman,
Yep.
Todd Gurley,
Yep.
and Golden Tate.
Mm.
I was like, damn. I saw a list it was a list of the top 5 free agents that are available, and I was like, those are really they're all still available. So I know they're all aging too and injury riddled, but even Melvin Ingram, like, I don't know what's up with these. Like,
I didn't even know he was a free agent. I thought he was just still on the Broncos.
But hey, we'll see. I'm sure they will land somewhere. I don't think any of these guys goes the whole season without playing. But it's just
They'll probably
interesting
get
to see.
added during like training camp.
We're almost in July, and they're still not signed. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. A bit of news I have here. After further review, apparently it looks like Aaron Rodgers does indeed have an opt-out clause where it says if he permanently decides by next Friday not to play in 2021, he'd avoid a $20.3 million in forfeiture and fines. That would apply if he just simply didn't show up. So, I mean,
shit.
Now at the date that post was, it was the 25th. So, I mean, this coming Friday, if he just says like, hey, I'm not playing this season, he doesn't have to pay any of that 20 million back. Yeah, he could just not play. So, I mean, it's an interesting little bit of news.
That is very interesting. That kind of changes the dynamics of things. Like, do you think he's just going to pay it, or would he do something as drastic as declaring that he's not playing for 2021?
I don't know, man. I feel like he loves the game so much. I feel like he wouldn't just not play. I feel like he would rather just come back and play again, especially since they went to 2 conference championships. He won an MVP. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't just run it back. And then,
stop.
Fight with the management during the season or whatever to get him to trade after the season or whatever. Maybe Jordan Love will be ready for next season, but play out this season. Why not?
He'll probably be back in a Packers uniform, most likely.
That's pretty much how I see it.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. You know, we still got a lot of time before football season, and even if they start the season without him, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Who knows? I don't know if Jordan Love's ready for that.
He ain't ready.
Steelers released their former Pro Bowler guard David DeCastro. He hasn't been picked up yet, but that's pretty surprising. Little drop there for the Steelers. Big Ben gonna be running for his life.
Up yet. So like, it's interesting. Maybe they found somebody to replace him.
Maybe, or else like there is some like undisclosed injury or something. Because I know he's been having like a little bit of injury issues. So maybe there was something they saw and they're like, nah, we ain't gonna risk that or something.
They used used up all of his juice in them Pro Bowl seasons.
That's it. That's all you got. And the last little bit that's not within my bias bubble here. The Falcons officially signed first-round tight end Kyle Pitts to his rookie contract. It is a 4-year, fully guaranteed deal of $32.91 million.
Damn.
With a 5th-year option and a signing bonus of $21 million.
God damn.
Yeah. Like it seems like every year, like these first-round picks, man, like the top 10, they're getting bank.
Right off the bat, not even just the quarterbacks, not even just the first pick anymore. It's all these first round.
I mean, it looks good, I guess, but they also are like it's a 4-year deal with like a 5th-year option, where like you could be blown up for those 4 years, 5 years, and they're still paying you that lower deal where they could be paying you, all right, we got to give you a max deal at this point, Yeah, and I know that's where like a lot of players like. They kind of bring that up during like the NFLPA, like when they're negotiating all that, where they're like, we feel like we're being locked down into these contracts we don't really have a say in, or like we want a kind of a say in our own future type thing. Like, because injuries happen too, and people want paid.
And security,
Yeah, and security. Like I remember Malcolm Jenkins, he was a big like promoter of that, whereas like these kids need to like they should have like a signing deal of like maybe 2 to 3 years, and then they'll be able to like get their money, pad themselves for the future. Maybe if they want to go somewhere else they can, or if they want to re-sign. I don't know.
They're making them do 4 at least.
Yeah, 4 at least with a 5th-year option.
Yeah,
and then they can just franchise tag you too as well, like if they want.
There's a lot of stock in a high draft pick though.
That's true.
So I mean, it's crazy. It's a business, but I'm glad he got a deal.
Yeah,
obviously, like he was going to anyway. But I'm glad. I would like to see what he becomes in the league here.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think he's going to be a monster. Like whether if it's Matt Ryan or whoever they bring in next, man. I think the Falcons, if they can get that defense under control, maybe they could do something. I know they don't have Julio, so they're probably gonna have to draft a wide receiver here too, in the next year or so, or pick one up. Maybe Golden Tate goes to the Falcons or something.
Calvin Ridley is still a solid piece, and he's a veteran now.
Yeah, so you got like Calvin Ridley and then Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll see, man. But that's all the news that I have. It wasn't really a news-filled week for the NFL and NBA. Just pretty much all the games, little like coaching news here and there. The helmet rule is the biggest news out of the NFL. Yeah, little updates here and there. I'm really looking forward to training camp here. That's coming here at the end of July. That's when the main training camp starts for the NFL. That's when we get into the action, all the clips, all the interviews, what players' stock is rising, who's dropping. That's when we can kind of get into the fantasy aspect of everything too.
Yes. Oh my God.
And I'm sure there'll be trades during that time too. Who knows? Or just free agency signings, like you were saying, like the top free agents.
Exactly. Like they're still going to find homes here, but before the end of the season, most likely.
Yeah. But yeah, man, we can just hop right into the bias bubble. I do have some things. I know you do too. So if you want to go ahead, man.
Yeah, definitely. So apparently Shaquille O'Neal was talking shit. Okay.
Oh, on who?
Who else? Other than LeBron James.
Okay. I thought Shaq was a supporter of LeBron James.
Listen, he didn't necessarily call him out straight up, okay? But he's pretty much it's firing back at LeBron's comments of the NBA and its schedule this year and all that. You know what I mean?
Because LeBron did make a big post about like all the players getting injured and everything, right? And being rushed back.
So Shaq said, the Diesel came out and said, when you're living in a world where 40 million people have been laid off and I'm making 200 million, you won't get no complaining from me. I'd play back to back to back to back to back. And he's like, I'm not knocking what anybody said, but me personally, I don't complain and make excuses because real people are working their tail off and we all got to do is train 2 hours a day and then play a game for 2 hours a night and make a lot of money. So my thought process is a little different. And I'm like, thinking back to Shaq's work ethic when he was on the Lakers.
That was the reason Kobe and him were fighting.
Like, wasn't that the reason Kobe? But he's coming at LeBron, I guess, a little bit. But he's making some very, 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 very valid points about.
Oh
hey,
yeah,
man,
absolutely.
It's just a game.
He's kind of putting it in the perspective a little bit.
Right. But I thought that was interesting. You know, we got some little Lakers drama there. Taylor Horton Tucker, the boy THT. Apparently, some East executives over here trying to pump and dump like his stock right now because he's talking about THT deserves to get he deserves a max contract. I'd throw the max at him. That's what he's saying about our free agent Taylor Horton Tucker. Okay, talking about trying to pump his numbers up there, so we got to pay him all this money, and I'm not about it. But I'm glad they're recognizing the talent in this young man because he has been balling all season. All season.
I saw that. What's his name? Schroeder's still looking for like $100 million. I saw that today. That he's still like his reps are saying that he's still looking for that huge deal.
He ain't gonna get it from the Lakers.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Especially after the postseason, man. Nah, you ain't getting that $100 million deal. But did you see KCP got robbed?
I did. Scary.
At gunpoint, man. I told Alex that shit, and Alex was like, it was probably Caruso
out there hustling. Stay off the weed.
But he got held at gunpoint for what was it? $350,000.
Damn, I didn't see how much it was.
Among the things stolen were a Rolex, an iPhone, and just it looks like $150,000. I just thought that okay, $150K, not $350. So it was a bunch of stuff totaling $150,000. But he got robbed for a gunpoint. I just thought that shit was crazy.
Who's out here robbing NBA players?
Like nothing. It's ridiculous. But
that's scary.
Did you hear the Big Three Ice Cube's league? Okay.
I haven't heard anything about it in a while.
It's coming back. Okay.
Nice.
They canceled the season last year because of COVID and everything, but they're right back full in action this year. There's awesome. a ton of former Lakers playing this season. Okay.
Oh really?
We got Shannon Brown. Remember Shannon Brown? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Hill.
Okay.
Earl Clark. Okay.
Okay. Earl Clark. I don't recognize that name as much. But okay. It sounds familiar.
Swaggy P.
Okay, I know Swaggy P.
Jody Meeks.
Okay. I know who that is.
Meta World Peace.
Oh,
all these motherfuckers are going to be participating. So pretty much Lakers from 2013 2013 or 14 to 2018, just the kind of the random pieces from that era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see Meta World Peace come out there hooping. It's gonna be nice.
Shaq need to go out there and play in the big three.
Man, that would be awesome. That'd be so incredible. But I just thought that was cool to see all those former Lakers, that are going to be out there this year.
That is really cool.
And me personally, I think I'm just thinking like a free agent that I would want to sign the most as far as the Lakers, like retain.
Yeah.
And I think the most important would be Andre Drummond, personally. So that was just random, but that's just a free agent. I think like that. If I would have to put the priority on, I would say sign Andre Drummond, and whatever else happens.
Yeah,
but that's my wish
list,
at least, is keeping Andre Drummond around there. This is my last thing for the Lakers here, but Kyle Kuzma, okay, is the longest tenured Laker.
Really?
Yes, he is the longest tenured Laker on our squad, and I just thought that was very interesting. Like,
so I'm the veteran around here.
I'm LeBron. Look at me.
Look at
me. AD. Look at me. And they're
Come
just
on.
they,
Really?
they're not
You
even
know
in
who
the
I
room.
am?
They're not even in the room. He's just practicing.
Yeah,
for when
he's
he does it. It never absolutely happens. But I just thought that was interesting.
That's him in the locker room before everybody gets there. That's what it'd be like if I was a star of this team.
That's what it'd be like. That's what I would say to them if they were here.
That's
right
how I
now.
would say to him.
But that's all the Lakers bias bubble news I had there.
You got any Patriots or anything?
Oh yeah. Number one priority for the Patriots right now should involve this man here. Okay.
Stephon Gilmore.
Whether
Trading him to Philly.
Whether you trade this man or sign this man, that needs to be the number one priority right now. And I don't understand what's going on, because he's doing cryptic shit. And
I saw he was posting pictures of the highest paid cornerbacks or something. I'm like, this dude looking for the bag.
He's trying to break the bank, and we already spent $500 million on the offseason, man.
Bill's just like, Steph, I wish you would have talked to me about this before we went on that spending spree a little bit. You realize I got two of the top 5 tight ends in the league, right? I didn't need that.
I didn't need them.
I didn't need
them. I don't know why I did it. I was just. You ever been at a
making
mall
this
and
really
seen
hard
something
on me?
Trade him. If we have to trade him, trade him. I don't want to see him. Bill Belichick has a knack for trading motherfuckers for a bag of chips and a banana, and I'm tired of it. He needs to get some good assets for Gilmore, because Gilmore is amazing, And
we'll give you Zach Ertz straight up.
I don't. No, see, no. That's the type of shit that would happen. We would get Zach Ertz, and then we'd cut his ass or something, and I'd be like, you motherfuckers. But anyway, we have a legitimate QB competition in New England. Okay.
A two-way QB competition or a three-way QB competition?
No, it's a two-way QB competition. Okay. Fuck Jarrett Stidham. He ain't the answer. Okay. Is that who you're referring to?
That's who I was referring to. Yes.
No, it's a two-way competition between Kimmy Cam and his opposite, Mac Miller. Okay.
Mac McCorkle.
I'm loving this shit, man. Mac Jones has been tearing up these OTAs. It's like some of these quotes here. They're saying that his grasp of the playbook that's over 20 years old in the making has been impressive. It's like Mac sees the game the same way that Josh McDaniels sees it, and that's excellent news for me, man. I'm just so happy about that shit. And they're saying that he's young, but being from Alabama, getting coached by Nick Saban, you could tell that he's been at a place where he's got some coaching.
Yeah,
and you know that he's gonna
McDaniels and Belichick.
Exactly.
Right into that system.
Exactly. And Newton ain't surrendering, you know what I mean? He's definitely still out there, but he had that hand injury, so it isn't until the end of OTAs here where Newton really started coming on a little bit more. But I'm all here for it. I don't care which one of them my quarterback. I want to see them both working as hard as they can to be the best Patriot, type of shit. Let's go. That way, if one of them goes down, the other one. I'm happy for it. We got 2 quarterbacks now. Neither of them are great, but we got 2 decent quarterbacks. See what Mac Jones ends up as, because NFL.com, I think it was, ended up ranking Mac Jones the 5th best rookie quarterback, and makes sense. He was taken as the 5th best rookie quarterback off the board. So I mean, I don't see what's so surprising about that there. But he's gonna prove some people wrong. Just like I said, Justin Fields will be the best rookie quarterback, and he was the 4th one taken. But, Pat Patriot helmets, I had that here. You know what I mean? I was pretty happy about that. Pretty happy about that there.
I'm ready to see all the fresh gear that they were like the NFL releases for retro shit,
clothing and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
But here I got some news about Jalen Hurts. Okay,
Jalen, my boy, Hurts season
news, because first in Alabama it was Jalen Hurts, okay, and then it was Tua Tagovailoa, okay, and then it was Mac Jones, but they were all on the team at the same time, you know. Mm-hmm. Mac came in 2017.
There's that picture of them all standing together in the Alabama uniform.
That shit's iconic. How you got? You ever see that picture of Wisconsin's running back core where it's like Wisconsin had Monty Ball, Tevin Coleman and James White, or something like that. I forget, but it was wild. That's that type of picture, like an iconic picture. But Hurts was talking about how, because he's got a year under his belt already, he was talking about how he thinks that he's going to be great, and he's got a great opportunity here being with New England, and the best thing to really do is just learn and watch. And I was like, that's good. I love to see him giving him advice. You know, it's just still not necessarily reaching out. It was during an interview, but still at least supporting him. You know? And I really like that. I thought that was pretty cool. But the last thing I have here, I've been running a little long. I don't even know. This would actually could wait until next week, honestly. But it was a list of the top 50 Patriots under Bill Belichick, and I was just gonna run down the top 10. I was just gonna run down the top 10 there. But so 10, we got Mike Vrabel, okay, and that's a kick in the balls.
Head coach for the Titans now.
Exactly, and I still have that picture in my head.
Tom Brady's last play as a Patriot.
I don't know how to get it out of my head. I don't know how to, and I don't know if I ever will. But it's stuck in there, okay? This motherfucker got 3 Super Bowls and 4 appearances, okay? But it was all with us there.
Yeah.
Number 9, Devin McCourty. You know I fucking love Devin McCourty, man. So
yeah, you got his jersey.
Congratulations to this dude here. 3 Super Bowl wins, 4 appearances. Richard Seymour, OG, ended up getting tossed. What was the deal with him and the Raiders? Did we scoop him? I don't remember. I was too young, but I had to look some more into that. But Richard Seymour, number 8, okay, 3 Super Bowls. Matt Light, another one that was around during that time, 3 Super Bowls at number 7. Rob Gronkowski, Gronk at number 6. Troy Brown, man, one of the our best wide receivers ever. Even though he wasn't necessarily the most flashy or anything like that, he was so reliable, man. We had him since the year we were born, 1993, all the way up into 2007. I think there was a time when he ended up leaving or something and ended up coming back, but Troy Brown, 3 Super Bowl wins for that man. 15 years in New England. No, he was with us the whole time there.
Jeez.
But Julian Edelman at number 4. Okay. I don't gotta say much about Julian.
Yeah, it's Jules.
We talked about Julian Edelman playing this. Teddy Bruschi, number 3. Bruschi. Vince Wilfork, number 2.
Oh, Tom Brady, number 1.
James White, number 1.
James White, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Tom Brady.
I'm surprised Patrick Chung wasn't on there or something.
Well, see, I only did the top 10.
Oh, it was top 50. I forgot. Yep. Tampa Tom, number 1.
Tom, number 1, of course. Tampa Tom, number 1 on most lists, unfortunately. I was happy about it before, and now I'm just like, God damn it. I'm gonna be ready to celebrate his career again whenever he's retired. Because right now,
we might as well talk a little bit about Tom first, because we forgot to mention he was on that episode of The Barbershop.
I didn't get to watch it yet.
But, I mean, there were some clips that were released about saying that, he was talking with one of the teams he could have went with, and he's like, oh, you guys are sticking with that motherfucker? Okay.
Sticking with that motherfucker?
Yeah, and there was a lot of teams that was rumored about, possibly the Saints or the Bears,
possibly
but apparently Dolphins. Apparently it was about the Raiders, though. Apparently he was talking to the Raiders and talk about Derek Carr.
You gonna stick with that
But he was also saying that like the end is near pretty much. Like he's looking like retirement's gonna be coming. He said his wife is gonna like his retirement's based off what his wife's decision or something. Like he was joking around.
Man, I've heard Tom Brady say that while he was a Patriot about 5 years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
They ask
Tom
him every
Brady
time he has an
definitely said
interview,
that
like,
before.
when are you gonna retire, Tom?
That's
Like,
my wife.
whatever.
Probably soon, maybe. I don't know. Just looks at her and she's glaring at him.
I've been
Like,
waiting
he's
for
like,
this motherfucker to retire for years.
He keeps telling him it's my decision. It ain't my decision.
It ain't my decision. He just keeps saying that. He makes him look like a good guy.
Fuck you, Tom. She's on like off camera, like. But
Liar.
that's all I have
Liar.
from my bias bubble there.
Okay. I just have a quick bit of Bulls news. Bulls forward Thaddeus Young won the award for the NBA Hustle Award this year, which honors player that makes the energy and effort plays to help his team win throughout the season. Thaddeus Young had a great season for the Bulls. Even though the Bulls didn't have a great season overall, he was a bright spot on a otherwise mediocre season. But man, with a guy that's that kind of late in his career and he's still putting up numbers and still hustling like that, he said that like he doesn't see an end in sight for his career. He said, I can keep putting up the numbers I'm putting up for years. He's like, I'm just gonna keep playing. So I mean, hopefully we can just keep him. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully you can keep him just on the Bulls, man, because it seems like he gels. He's really like buddy with like Zach LaVine now and Leach and the rest of the guys.
He's a great veteran presence to have on there.
Exactly. So I mean, if we could keep him and we could keep what's his name, Daniel Tice or Thies, after like going into next season, that'd be great. I think those are two guys we need to lock down. And of course, Zach LaVine made the Olympic team, which will be cool. If he wins a gold, it'd be cool to have a fresh all-star. We'll just want a gold medal going into the next season.
Oh, yeah. That's some fucking motivation right there.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe learn some things from like all these other stars on the team as well. Maybe KD teach him some shit. And also try to recruit. Eagles news, we talked about Jalen Hurts a little bit. He had his first like mini camp out there for some kids out in Alabama. For them kids, he was out having like a camp. Apparently Miles Sanders had one here in Harrisburg the other week.
Oh shit.
Miles Sanders had like a big camp for like a bunch of kids could have signed up and stuff. And like they could have went and he was like showing them like run them through drills and everything. But yeah, Miles Sanders had one in Harrisburg and then he had one in Philly. But Jalen Hurts has one in like Alabama. He's doing one now.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, but man, and he was out there apparently the day of or the day before he was out there with Devontae Smith was out there with him and Quez Watkins. And it was dope because it was just showing Devontae Smith. He had just like his shorts, no shirt, and then he had his old Alabama helmet on.
Nice.
And he's just running, bro. And Jalen Hurts just bombs it. And he just like, it was awesome, man. I can't wait to see that connection. But it was just cool seeing them like out there practicing here in the off season, not even like coming up on training camp. You know, they're still putting in the work.
Still getting ready, trying to build that rapport back up.
Jalen Hurts is jacked though, dude. His like legs look like Saquon's legs first, like, and like, bro, this dude looks like he's like in an 80s movie. He wears like these huge, like, look like ski goggle sunglasses that are colored.
Oh,
and then he has like this like cut off sleeve like Public Enemy sweatshirt on with like these short ass shorts. He looks like he's in an 80s movie, bro. And he's just out here like bombing balls.
He's got that fucking attitude that you need.
He has like this big ass like 90s Michael Jordan hoop earring in his ear too. So it's like this dude, like he's got like a personality already. And he's like, he just seems like that leader. Like obviously like teammates are gonna be like, oh, he's the leader, but I kind of get a like notion from out all these players I talk about him that he is that leader. He's the dude that's gonna lead this team. Whether if they're good this season, that remains to be seen. But I think as long as he can lead them, I think especially with Sirianni, his energy as well, I think the morale is not going to be an issue within the Eagles locker room this year. It's just a matter if they have the talent to succeed. Which leads to my next bit of news here. I only have two other things regarding the Eagles. Apparently, more than a couple Eagles players have been actively recruiting Richard Sherman to Philly.
Okay, so maybe he ends up in Philly green.
Maybe. I don't know if we have the money for him, though. That's the thing.
He's going to probably have to take a smaller deal, man. He's got to take a smaller deal.
Yeah, I had to take like a 1-year deal or something. But yeah,
Mhm.
apparently like Darius Slay, among other players, have been trying to recruit him. Which I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, maybe get Richard Sherman. That'd be cool. But the dude that's probably more realistic, apparently, as of yesterday, the Eagles are reportedly really interested in cornerback Steven Nelson from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's a free agent. Apparently, the reason they haven't signed him is because they're trying to work out a deal. And apparently that's the same thing with other teams that are looking at him as well. Apparently he wants more money than what teams are willing to offer him as of right now.
Right.
So as
He's
of right now, it just
hardball.
seems like exactly, and it just seems like there's a bidding war between teams, and the Eagles are just kind of in the mix of it. So it's just a matter of what team's gonna like really. All right, we'll give you this extra like $1 or $2 million just to get you, But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the Eagles did that because they really need a cornerback too. They really need a CB2 going into the season. And I wouldn't be comfortable with the ones they have on the roster, especially like putting a rookie at CB2,
Right. Especially like, man, because people like Tom Brady are going to pick them apart.
Exactly. They're already going to know. Like, all right, we're just going to hit this side hard this game or whatever.
They got a rookie cornerback over there. Let's introduce him to the NFL.
Yeah. So, I mean, make whatever you do, like make some contract extensions or whatever you need to do. Like pull some strings, Howie. You got to make that dude put him in the Eagles green. I want to see him in midnight green. Just so I like him opposite Darius Slay, I would feel good about the secondary. And like our defensive front is going to be beast regardless. So, I mean, if you get a decent defense, he doesn't have to be the best defense, just a decent defense, like mediocre at best, not a terrible defense. And then just have the offense be able to work some magic, man. We could win some games, surprise some people.
See what happens. We got 17 games now.
Got 17 games to see. A lot can happen.
A lot could happen, man.
A lot could happen. Who knows? You got at least two other trash ass teams in the division. So I mean, you really just gotta like fight it out with the Cowboys.
We'll see what Cowboys team shows up this year.
Exactly.
It could be even worse than the Washington or the Giants. So
true.
That division is such a question mark, man. I have no idea what's going
on. But yeah, that's all I have. There really wasn't much news out of my bias bubble this week. But we do have one more thing to do, and that's the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. This isn't really a groundbreaking one. This is the number one fastest hat trick in soccer has been recorded. It's Alex Tor of Rawson Spring. He recorded a hat trick in 1 minute.
1 minute.
This dude scored 3 goals in 1 minute of playtime.
When did this shit happen?
I don't know, to be honest. I looked it up and it is confirmed. But that is number one. I can actually just verify here.
That's crazy. Like, imagine that. Like, he's after the second goal within a minute, the whole crowd's probably going crazy, and the other team's like, damn, what the hell's going on? Do not let this guy just got 2 goals on you in 1 minute. That's impressive enough. And then he comes and he gets a third, like, within that same minute.
It was in 2013 too.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
And the previous record was 90 seconds.
Shit.
By Tommy Ross.
That's crazy too.
But yeah, man, he went out there and scored 3 goals in 1 minute. And like, man, them soccer fields no joke. They some big ass fields.
I know, and he's just just kicked that shit. That goalie must have not been doing shit, bro.
He's like, this guy's crazy. He's faking me out.
Oh my god, that's wild.
But that's all the news that I have this week. And make sure to like and subscribe on the channel. Go check out all of our other content, please. And make sure to go follow us on Twitter at SquadPod Sports, because we are almost up to 600 followers now. Damn. Almost. We reached 500 the other week. We are almost up to 600. So let's keep it rolling.
Need to transition to the YouTube, okay? And start just subscribing, man. We just
subscribe.
It's free.
And on top of that, we may have some merch in store here in the next couple weeks either. We've been our boy Hacker Man Evan's been getting on that kind of stuff as well.
We're thinking about making a crazy sports fact stat of the podcast shirt is good.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for some merch eventually as well. We got our hands in all kinds of different things. So yeah, make sure to go like and subscribe and check out all of our other content and go follow on Twitter. And hopefully there's a lot of crazy news here to talk about next week. And we'll see everybody later.
One.
Peace out.
Peace.
Pod.